Most guys drop $3,000 to $8,000 on a zero-turn mower without knowing the one number that determines whether it runs for 2,000 hours or falls apart at 500. And that number sits right there on every spec sheet nobody reads. This video covers everything a homeowner or working man needs to know before spending that money. What to buy, how to stay safe on it, and what it takes to keep the machine running for a decade. The global zero-turn market clocked in at roughly $5.6 billion in 2025 and is tracking toward nearly double that by 2033, which tells you this is not a backyard hobby category anymore. Before you hand over your credit card, though, let us start from the beginning. Warrensburg, Missouri is where the story starts, back in 1949, when a man named Max Swisher built a three-wheeled machine he called the Ride King. And the thing that made it unusual was simple. Instead of making wide arcing turns like every tractor before it, the Ride King could spin in place. The concept sat mostly overlooked for over a decade until 1963, when John Deere at the Heston Corporation built the first twin-lever steering design. And that twin-lever setup is still the most common control system you will find on zero turns today. Dixon pulled the whole thing together in 1974 by coining the actual term zero-turn radius, and that is where the name Z-R comes from. What separates a zero-turn from the riding mower your dad used comes down to how each rear wheel gets its own independent hydraulic drive system, controlled by two lap bars instead of a steering wheel. Push both bars forward and the machine moves straight, pull one back while pushing the other forward, and it spins in place around the center point between the rear wheels, with the front caster wheels just trailing along wherever the machine goes. A traditional lawn tractor pivots with its front wheels, which means backing up and repositioning at the end of every single row. A zero-turn just swings around and lines up for the next pass in one motion. Researchers at the University of Hohenheim put both types side by side with identical cutting widths, and the zero-turn covered the same area 40% faster. Most owners describe a 60-minute job shrinking down to 20 or 30 minutes, and that time savings is what turned this from a commercial-only tool into something sitting in residential garages across the country. 4 categories cover the zero-turn market, and knowing the difference keeps you from buying the wrong machine. Entry-level residential machines run engines in the 18 to 24 horsepower range, carry decks between 34 and 54 inches wide, and top out around 5 to 9 miles per hour. The hydraulic transaxles on these machines are sealed, meaning when they wear down, you swap the whole unit rather than servicing it, but for a homeowner mowing, once or twice a week. A sealed unit holds up for years without any issue. Prosumer machines step up to fabricated welded decks instead of stamped steel, and they use serviceable hydraulic systems that a technician can actually open up and repair rather than replace outright. Hustler, Exmark, Ariens, and Gravely all build solid machines in this tier, with pricing landing between $6,000 and $8,000. Full commercial units are a different world entirely. Built to run 8 to 12 hours a day in the hands of professional landscaping crews, these machines pull engines from Kawasaki, Kohler, or Briggs & Stratton Vanguard, ranging from 23 to 40 horsepower, carry decks from 60 to 72 inches, and certain models push top speeds of 13 to 15 miles per hour or more. Skag, Exmark, John Deere, Toro, and Gravely own this space, and prices start at $10,000 and climb past $20,000. Stand-on mowers round out the category, and Bill Wright invented the format when he introduced the Wright Stander in 1997. Rather than sitting, the operator stands on a rear platform, which makes the machine more compact and easier to get on and off, and the ability to shift your body weight actually improves handling on slopes compared to a seated machine. For crews moving between tight gates and varied terrain all day, the stand-on design makes a strong argument. Price is where most conversations start, so here is the honest breakdown. Entry-level residential machines land between $2,500 and $4,000. Mid-range residential units with 48 to 54-inch decks run $3,800 to $6,000. Prosumer machines fall between $6,000 and $8,000. Full commercial units start at $10,000 and push well past $20,000. Brand ranges map out the market pretty clearly. Troy-Bilt positions itself in the $1,700 to $3,500 range, while Husqvarna sits between $2,500 and $5,000. Cub Cadet runs $2,500 to $5,500. John Deere lands at $3,500 to $8,000 on the residential side, and Bad Boy, which has been manufacturing in Batesville, Arkansas since 2002, built its name by offering commercial-grade construction at prices closer to the residential tier. Tractor Supply carries the Bad Boy line if you want to see one in person. Every experienced buyer eventually lands on the same piece of advice: the dealer matters more than the brand. For commercial machines from Skag, Exmark, Ferris, and the like, the local dealer handles your warranty claim, stocks your parts, and gets you back running when something breaks during peak season. A strong machine paired with a bad dealer creates problems, and a solid machine backed by a great dealer buys you peace of mind. Warranties are what most buyers skip over until the engine misfires 3 seasons in, so pay attention to these numbers now. John Deere covers their Z300 residential series for 3 years or 200 hours, bumps the Z500R up to 4 years or 500 hours, and their commercial Z900 line stretches to 3 years with 1,200 hours on certain models, while removing the hour limit entirely in the first 24 months. Toro backs the Time Cutter series with 3 years and no hour limit for residential buyers, while the Titan and Z Master commercial machines step up to 4 years or 500 hours. Exmark runs one of the strongest warranty programs in the category. Their commercial Laser Z E and S series carry 5 years or 1,250 hours, and the Laser Z X pushes that to 5 years or 1,500 hours, with no hour limit applying at all during the first 2 years of ownership. Skag covers commercial buyers with 2 years of parts and labor, plus a 3rd year of parts-only coverage. Ferris backs their commercial ride-ons for 4 years or 500 hours, with unlimited hours in the first 2 years, and their suspension system now carries a full 10-year warranty on units purchased on or after November 1st of 2025. Gravely starts residential coverage at 3 years and takes their ProTurn commercial top models up to 5 years or 1,500 hours. Rollovers are the leading fatal hazard connected to zero-turn mowers, and most guys do not think about this until they are already on a slope they should not be on. A loaded commercial Z-Tar tips the scales at over 1,700 pounds, sits with a high center of gravity, and rides on a narrow wheelbase, and that combination gets dangerous fast when the ground tilts. Every major manufacturer draws the line at 15 degrees maximum slope, with some safety professionals recommending operators stay at or below 10 to 12 degrees to build in a real margin. OSHA has documented fatalities from operators who exceeded that 15-degree limit, including an August 2024 case where a worker died after a Z-Tur overturned on a slope between 16 and 26 degrees. 99%. That is the effectiveness of a rollover protection structure combined with a seatbelt at preventing injury or death in an overturn, according to the University of Nebraska Medical Center. Dr. Aaron Yoder at UNMC reported that no fatality from a Z-Tur rollover had been documented in cases where both the ROPS and the seatbelt were used together. Most manufacturers made ROPS standard equipment around 2004, and if your machine has one, keep it in the upright position every single time you operate. On any slope, mow up and down rather than across the face of the hill, never turn downhill at the bottom of a pass, and keep a 5-foot buffer between yourself and any drop-off, ditch, or water's edge. The first 30 minutes behind a zero turn feel unfamiliar to almost everyone, but most new operators find their footing within the first full mow. Jerking the lap bars too fast creates jerky lines in tier's turf, turning at full speed digs divots into your lawn, and mowing wet grass clumps the clippings, slips the blades, and makes the whole machine unpredictable. All three are mistakes new operators make in the first session, and most of them stop making those mistakes by the second. Scalping happens when the deck contacts the ground and chews up the grass, and uneven tire pressure on the two rear drive wheels is one of the main causes because it tilts the deck without the operator noticing. Set tire pressure equal on both sides. Position the front of the deck about half an inch lower than the rear. Keep the anti-scalp wheels adjusted correctly, and slow down through your turns. Those 4 habits eliminate most scalping problems. 1 acre is roughly the point where a zero turn starts making financial sense compared to a traditional rider or walk behind. Below that threshold, the price premium rarely pays off. Above 2 acres, the time savings alone justify the machine. Maintenance is what separates a machine that reaches 2,000 hours from one that quits at 500, and the rules are not complicated. Change engine oil every 50 hours without exception. Air-cooled engines pull heat out through the oil, not just through the fins, so skipping oil changes shortens the engine's life faster than almost any other mistake an owner makes. Blade sharpening needs to happen every 20 to 30 hours, and commercial crews on daily use machines sharpen weekly. Dull blades rip and tear the grass rather than cutting it cleanly, which stresses the spindle bearings and leaves the lawn looking ragged. A professional shop typically charges $8 to $12 per blade for sharpening. Belts require a regular look for cracking, fraying, or glazing, with replacement parts running $85 to $140 depending on the machine. On commercial units with serviceable hydraulic systems, plan for periodic fluid and filter changes using whatever oil the manufacturer specifies. Residential sealed transaxles need nothing until they wear out and need full replacement, but commercial hydraulic systems with proper maintenance can run 1,000 to 2,000 hours before needing major work. Tire pressure equal on both sides is not optional. It affects cut quality and machine tracking every single mow. Residential owners should budget $120 to $300 per year for routine maintenance. Commercial operators running 300 or more hours per season should plan for $1,200 to $1,900 annually, covering oil, blade sharpening, transmission fluid, filters, and belts. Commercial machines with consistent maintenance routinely reach 1,500 to 2,500 hours of service life. Neglected machines often break down before 800. Residential ZTRs in normal homeowner use commonly run 10 years or more. When the season ends, drain the fuel or add stabilizer, clean the deck, change the oil, disconnect the battery, or put it on a trickle charger, and store the machine somewhere dry and covered. Electric zero turns have moved from novelty into real-world machines worth considering, depending on your acreage and workload. John Deere entered the electric ZTR market in February of 2023 with the Z370R, a 42-inch deck machine rated for up to 2 acres per charge. They followed that in October of 2024 with the Z380R, which stretched the deck to 54 inches, added 6.4 kilowatt hours of lithium-ion battery, and pushed the rated range to 3.5 acres per charge. That machine retails around $8,999 and carries a 5-year battery warranty capped at 200 hours. Ego Power Plus built the Z6 around 6 56-volt batteries behind a 42-inch fabricated deck with coverage rated around 2 acres and a 2-hour charge time, priced from $4,900 to $5,400. Ryobi's 80-volt machine runs a 42-inch deck and claims up to 3 acres per charge for roughly $3,900 to $4,900. In thick or wet grass, plan on covering 20 to 30% less than the rated acreage. The trade-off is fuel cost savings of roughly $250 to $400 per year compared to gas. Gas still accounts for about 71% of the market as of 2025, but electric is the fastest growing segment in the category. The autonomous side of the market deserves attention. Scythe Robotics, based in Longmont, Colorado, pulled in $42 million in a Series B funding round in 2023, and their M.52 fully electric autonomous mower is already running on commercial properties. Graze Robotics, out of Plano, Texas, is developing a 60-inch machine with 8 hours of battery life. Wright, Skag, and Bobcat have all partnered with the autonomy software company Graze to bring supervised autonomous machines to market, and Honda's Procision platform launched in October of 2025, with autonomous capability rolling out in 2026. This is not a future concept. These machines exist and are operating right now. 1 acre of flat or gently rolling ground is the starting point where a zero-turn mower pays for itself in time and frustration saved. Match the machine to the actual workload. A prosumer machine on 3 acres of open flat lawn outperforms a residential entry-level unit that gets pushed past its limits every single weekend. Change the oil every 50 hours, sharpen the blades every 20 to 30, and keep tire pressure matched on both sides. Those 3 habits carry more weight than anything else when it comes to how long the machine runs. On slopes, buckle the seatbelt, keep the ROPS standing upright, and trust the 15-degree limit the manufacturers put on every machine. Zero-turn mowers cover ground fast and cut clean, but terrain demands respect. The first zero-turn rolled out of Warrensburg, Missouri back in 1949. Decades of refinement later, nothing covers ground faster or cleaner for a homeowner or professional with the right amount of acreage. Now you know how the machine works, what to pay for each tier, what the warranties actually say, and how to keep it running long after most owners have traded theirs in. Go make the right call.